first, Alexander, I want to ask you, what drew you to this as a producer and made you want to get involved with this story in this film?
I don't really think as a producer. I think as a moviegoer. So I'm reading script. I have that immense chance to be able to receive script and reading them. So I'm reading script and sometimes something catch you. And The Other Side of the Door definitely was a story that got me, as I was starting to read, so involved, because as a father, as I just felt for those characters. I understand the drama. I understand what they were going through, and I couldn't help myself to think about what I would do if I was in their position. Would have opened the door or not? And that's a really good setup, because it's all about immersion. It's all about creating an experience for the viewer. So when you get a script like that, I knew I had to be part of it. So then my part was to help Johannes and help the group to make this movie happen, to go shoot in India, in a place that's very different from any other places you shoot usually, and just be sure that we stay, faithful to what bring all of us around that script.
Mm. Jeremy, for you, you've done a fair amount of horror, supernatural movies, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, when I heard it was a horror movie, I was kind of usually, I'm expecting something where I'm running away from some creature for 2 hours, and so I was really excited that I was playing something else for the majority of the film, so to me it resonated as a drama. This couple loses a kid, and it's one of the worst tragedies that can happen to a person. But at the same time, it also sort of touched in me some real deep fears, and some it kind of uses India and the depth of their sort of relationship with death and with spirituality in a way that creates a really lasting, haunting impression.
Did you and Sarah talk a lot about channeling that really particular type of grief that's so powerful, losing a child like that?
A little bit. I mean, we shared a couple of things. I remember there's a few takes, or like 4 takes in, where I just couldn't imagine it anymore. I didn't want to imagine it, because it's like the last thing you want to think about, really. And sort of, I told her, and she's like, yeah, I have that about every take 4, take 5 too. So we connected on it, but no, when as an actor you're kind of sort of approaching it in your own way, and you kind of just don't want to get in any other actors, in there. You don't want to obstruct them from how they need to get at the truth of it.
What were the challenges of working in Mumbai, and was there any sort of overlap of your film crew working with anyone from sort of the Bollywood culture?
Yeah, I mean, the whole crew was Indian. I mean, we were just a few, coming from Europe and England and America. I mean, we were really just, and France, and we were just, it was mostly an Indian crew that usually work in, big Bollywood movie. And it's a different way of working. It's organized chaos, which is a very spectacular way of, you can get really anxious as a foreigner of, like, is it going to happen? Are we going to get a set? And everything magically built and raised, and it's beautiful and it's great, and they're super talented. They're really so talented. It was a unique experience as a filmmaker, for sure, to be there, to shoot, to use that country, because wherever you put the camera, it's stunning.
Now, as we said, you both have experience with the horror genre. Is there one horror movie that, I'll ask both of you, that you cannot watch, or that you just shy away from? It makes you too uncomfortable?
Let me think. I don't know. Do you have one like that?
I had one. By accident watched The Shining very early on in my life, like age of 5 or 6, and that kind of really traumatized me. And it took me a few years before I could watch it. It became one of my favorite movies now. But it's very hard to, when you're making these movies, when you're reading so many scripts, to be, very, very. I mean, the last one I will say was Antichrist. Antichrist, I had to stop watching. I was like, it's too much. I couldn't take it. It was really traumatic.
What I was thinking when I was watching this movie was, it's got some Rosemary's Baby stuff going on. It's very kind of, it's very eloquent in a way, and and that's a freaking
Character
movie, too.
driven.
Yeah, character driven, but
It's
you know,
all about the character.
but still fun in its own. I mean, you know, as dark as it is, and as deep as these subjects are that it hovers in, I really hope the audience knows that it's also a fun horror film. You know.